Alright, well, this thing went from bad to worse, and I don't know what the hell, but when I first bought this thing from the guy, it didn't work, and it had the PLL unlocked. Now, and he got it working. I found a lot of cold solder joints on the control board. And, turn my soldering iron off here. So when I got it working, I found a lot of cold solder joints on the control board. And then it had low receive. You had to crank the volume up really, really high to hear anything. And the meter didn't really read right. It seemed like it was sensitive, but low volume. It was just kind of hard to explain. But so I looked around for problems with it for quite some time, and I just gave up. And I've had it for like 2 years or something like that. And I never really used it because it's just like, well, it works. The transmit's great. So today I decided I was gonna, tackle this thing because I've gotten rid of a lot of my projects, and basically got in and was reading something about changing some transistors that were supposedly backwards and this and that, and this radio's got some strange modifications done to it, and so I don't know exactly why or what, or and then I saw a video of the guy showing the same thing. He never ever fixed his problem, but I reflowed a ton of connections on the IF board, and it seemed like it was working better. And I followed a wire down here, this particular one actually, and when it would tug on the wires on the PLL board, the receive would come up 3S units. So I decided to take out the PLL board. And I checked the PL board, and I found some questionable soldering, and I reflowed everything. I put it back together, and the radio has not worked ever since. And it would only make noise on FM, which was kind of like my original problem that I had when I first got the radio. And so I pulled the board again. I looked and looked and looked. I couldn't find anything. I pulled the control board. I found some more cold solder joints on the control board. I messed around with those. We put it back together. And then now I have the dots. Show the frequency for a second. I'll show you. I'm going to just get that. It won't make any noise unless you put it on FM. And anytime you push any button, you get that. Now, I did go into the digital B board and I replaced the battery. I actually installed a battery holder and a new battery. And the battery was reading like 1 volt or something. It's sitting over here somewhere. Yeah. So, I did that. I've wiggled wires all over the place. The thing I haven't really done is I haven't done like, the diagnostic, check voltage here, check voltage there, see if the PLL is actually unlocked, all this other stuff. I don't know, I'm not really a repair guy, like, I've fixed some radios, but I think I've had more radios that I just wasn't able to fix than anything, so, and as most people know, these Kenwoods have a lot of cold solder joints and stuff, and they made the holes in the board too big for the leads, and so that contributes to stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I can't figure it out. I'm not really sure what it is. So I guess I removed the wax in here too. Most of it. I don't think it was conductive, but I removed it. The only thing I think of is I'm like checking my work really careful to make sure like I didn't like bridge, something. But for whatever reason, I now have, no PLL. It doesn't go into like transmit or anything like that. It just will show the thing for a second. So I'm pretty certain that the PLL is not locked. And I guess I can probably test some things here or whatever, but... So, geez, man, I don't know. And then my brand new radio is sitting over here, because I got no room for it. It's like, why am I working on this thing when I have a brand new radio and other radios that all work fine? That one does have problems. I've really only got 3 radios that have anything wrong with them at all. That 101 ZD may or may not have something wrong with it. It's kind of sort of like low audio output on transmit, but like it'll key up the full 100 and something on carrier. It seems like it doesn't really do 100 watts on sideband. And then I've got the Tempo 1 that just drifts kind of bad, and I think that radio there, you can just kind of go through it and replace parts and probably solve your problem. But this one here baffles me. I don't know. So, I have spent an entire Sunday. This is about 10 in the morning. It's 11. So, 13 hours. About something like that. Not really any breaks in between. My back is killing me. Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe just pull out the CW filters and the sideband filters, sell them on eBay, sell the radio as parts, part the radio out as parts. I don't know. I hate to do that. I have never done that, actually. I know people that have, but I've never done that. I don't want to start now. It's a fantastic looking radio. It's probably the heaviest solid state radio I have, except for the FT1. But I like this radio better than FT1 because it's got a tuner and everything in it. And doesn't have to warm up. I don't know why those guys go crazy about the FT1. It's such a problematic radio, probably just as bad as these. Anyway, that's how I wasted my Sunday night. Thanks, guys.